Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining today's Tech Thursday. I'm Turner Levison with the Commercial Edge team by Yardi, and I'm looking forward to running through our property data and listings platform today. And I'm going to go through a quick slide presentation, and then I'm going to actually jump in and show some of the product. Of course, if you have any questions or want to meet with us one-on-one or meet some of our sales staff, you can email us at edgesales@commercialedge.com. And we'll also distribute some contact information after today's webinar for all of the registrants. Let's go ahead and hop in. Thank you. So, I'll generally start with just a little bit of information, but Commercial Edge itself is a platform for commercial real estate brokers. And it's a combination of property data and research and a platform for your listings built into one system. And all of it is a brand within Yardi. And it's our kind of commercial real estate brokerage specific brand, but Yardi as a whole, for just a little bit of background on us, and I can share a couple of highlights. We've been working with owners and asset managers, property managers for 40 years now, more on the accounting and property management side of the business to become really one of the biggest CRE tech companies in the world with 7,000 employees worldwide. And really most companies that are coming into this research space or trying to aggregate listings have a hard time competing because there's got to meet short-term revenue goals. But Yardi's in a pretty unique position to approach this as a long-term part of the strategy to really provide a better option for real estate professionals. And with over 40% of all office, industrial, and retail commercial assets managed on Yardi products, there's actually a couple of cool things that I'll show in our research that really only we're able to do from our Yardi Market Insight. We'll start on the marketing side and think of this as your one place where you can add listings and then have that ripple through to your own website and actually 4 additional websites that Yardi owns in Commercial Cafe, Commercial Search, Property Shark, and Point 2 Commercial. You can also feed that directly to your website and even other listing sites. So, if you're already with a handful of large brokerages that provide us a data feed, or you're even something like a build-out user, we've got a great partnership with them where they'll syndicate listings across to us, and it'll ripple through to the 4 websites that we have. Really, it's a free resource for you to use. We don't charge anything for access to the listing platform, and today we don't have any sort of ad packages or anything that maybe you'd be accustomed to paying for on other platforms. But we're still driving value. There's over 15 million views each month across those 4 sites, and at least 1 in 4 of our sites is going to typically show up on the front page of Google, which is pretty powerful. In addition to that, every lead that's filled out on any of these websites, we vet before sending them to the listing representation. So we're not going to muddy up your inbox with commercial roofers looking to be your new roofer. We'll vet and ensure that it is indeed either a tenant rep representing a live client or a potential tenant that's reaching out to you direct before sending that information over. From a white label perspective, we do have the ability to create a page for your website. So if you really want a nice clean UI with a built-in map and search functionality and aggregate all of your listings for your entire brokerage, we can build that out. And then you can update across all 4 of our sites and your own website, all from one place. Flipping over to the research side, and this is the part that we get pretty excited about, is 10 years in the making plus. And we really start at the county level. So we take data from over 800 counties now, which is 80% of the U.S. population, and start at the parcel level. Every county keeps data a little bit differently in different shape and format, and we standardize that and pull it into a research product that then over 500 researchers globally are going through each building to pull out ownership information, tenant rosters, sending people out to actually take photos. We'll even actually do research on FEMA flood map risk information and true owner information, as well as all the way into some of the vendors that service that building. So you can even see which janitorial service is working on that building. From there, then we have layered on top of all of the properties, that listing database. So over 250,000 listings now that are U.S. nationally on the platform, and even working with some of our clients to sync from Voyager, some of the larger brokerages to sync from their listing database like Colliers and people on build out. So a really, really strong set of listings sitting on top of the research for being able to search by space or by availability or doing a survey for a potential tenant, so on and so forth. And then beyond that, there's market insight, and I'll show you that today. And because we now have, again, that over 40% of commercial assets on Yardi's platform, we're able to extract and standardize lease comp data, as well as total rent, net rent, recoverables, detailed recoverables, and really drill in and anonymize and aggregate that data. So against the subject property, you can see true comp data from actual ledgers that are live and actual leases that have been signed in those competitive buildings. We'll jump into the actual research product in a moment. So I'm going to show a couple things now, and I figure instead of just doing a slide deck for 30 minutes, I'd actually show some of the product. Let's jump over to screen 2. So this is Commercial Edge, and you're welcome to learn more here, CommercialEdge.com. You can get a demo with our team, schedule one right here directly from the website. We'll go ahead and log in and start with the research product. We'll just let that load for a second. Maybe hop to Chicago. Let me jump in here. Make sure this share is working. We should be just looking at a search result now. So we're in the Commercial Edge research product, and I've hopped over to Chicago, and maybe we'll say we want to take a look at properties. I'll just use a big number even now. Probably typically looking at deals lower than that, 50,000 to 70,000, and we'll do current map. So anything that's showing up will generate us some results. We'll see a live counter going down here on the bottom of our search. So if I wanted to kind of zoom in a little bit, we'll see that live counter start to shrink down as I narrow my search or expand my search. So now we've got 403 properties that are coming up in this search result. And we're looking at properties. So the actual property, and we maybe want to research some off-market stuff, but you can also search specifically for spaces by lease or properties that are actively for sale. We do have a active tenants board. So if you're a listing rep and you want to see tenants in your market that are searching for space, you can see if they meet any of your availabilities. You can add your own lease comps or pull from our sale comps, where we're able to publicly aggregate public data and pull it in here for you. You can search by portfolio to see one owner's portfolio across the U.S., as well as map-based data research for listing groups. In a property search, maybe we'll zoom in just a little bit more, start to narrow down our search and see what comes up. Over here on the right, we're down to 253 properties, and I'll hop into This one. And this is going to open up that specific building. And we'll take a peek at some of the research that we've actually done on this asset. And we can pretty quickly see some pictures of the building. And in this case, we've gone out and taken these building pictures. And down here right below, we're able to actually take a little bit of a walk around the block and see other commercially zoned assets. And we can hop to these different properties directly from here. There are sale comps, which we can see by this button being blue here, that there's some competitive sale transaction data here that we can pull in. As a general overview, we're going to quickly see information on the location, even into purchase and loan data, if we are able to pull that. True owner data, so we'll give you the person that's for this particular asset in charge of acquisitions and dispositions. So if it's owned by JP Morgan, we're not going to give you Jamie Dimon. We'll give you the person they should talk to about potentially buying the building. And leasing broker information, property characteristics, lease summary data, listing summary, even other property characteristics that we're able to pull in, and functional characteristics, and just some general notes if we can. If there are listings attached to this property, we'll be able to pull those in and see those here, as well as if they're a sublet or traditional lease opportunity. And then we do, at minimum annually, go through and do the tenant research as well and pull in tenants and their contact information from these buildings. And in most cases, either 25,000 square foot and up or 50,000 square foot and up. We'll pull in contacts related to the building. So again, that true owner and leasing broker and any sublet brokers if they do exist. And, even into pulling permit information, neighborhood information. Always think the FEMA risk flood maps are an interesting thing to take a look at and see for a particular building. And then the thing that's pretty unique to just Yardi is this market insight. And this, again, goes back to that 40% of assets that are on Yardi products. We're able to pull in against this subject property. We can use a radius or a specific market, in this case 1 mile. Maybe if I want to cut that down to half a mile, go ahead and let this reload. And in this case, we've got over 1,100 properties that meet the search criteria. And maybe if I wanted to put in year built, property size, I could, but we've anonymized and aggregated data from the public ledgers or the general ledgers of our customers, and are able to standardize lease data from those and give you an understanding of the expected net rent and recoverables for competitive properties, and detailed information on the recoverables down to total rent and even occupancy data. We'll then also look at competitive properties and pull listings from similar properties so that you can see kind of what rent ranges look like and asking rates for similar properties in the area. Again, just deep insight based on data that is uniquely Yardi's. From a research product, I think in general, the workflow for a lot of different end users is going to be a little bit different, whether you're on the listing side of the business or in investment sales or doing mostly tenant rep. And we do have tools that are specific to each of those verticals within the industry, if you will. So we're building out a product for tour books for tenant reps and competitive sets for the investment sale side and the listing side, where you can put in subject properties and we'll help you automatically generate competitive sets, and then you can build on top of that. And then for those that are doing the listing side or own buildings and want to think through whether or not our marketing product could be helpful, I thought it'd be nice to show you what some of these white labeled websites look like. So in this case, you're able to either have our team upload your listings for you, you can manage them yourself, or you can syndicate them in from something like a build out, or if you're at a big brokerage, we do work with listing feeds and can automatically populate and pull data in to make your website look really, really well built out and have an interactive map for visitors to work with. They'll be able to see all of your listings over here on the right. And then in addition to just your website, again, there's the 4 websites that Yardi owns, and I'll show a few of them here, where from that database, it's on your website, and then 233 Park Avenue is on Commercial Cafe. And each one is pretty similar, but also a little bit unique. And that same property will show up on commercial search, as well as if we do just a quick search, go to see, we're coming up right here at the top. And then we hop over to something like a 0.2, our commercial version. We've got the same property available here as well. So again, if maybe we wanted to change something, add a additional space that's become available, or make an update to the e-brochure, we can make that in one place on the Edge marketing platform, and it's going to flow through to 0.2 commercial search, commercial cafe, as well as Property Shark, and potentially your own website if we're powering that as well. So from research to marketing and a listings database for your properties, that is CommercialEdge, and we'll keep it pretty short and sweet today, around just under 20 minutes. And I would encourage anyone who's interested in learning a little bit more, taking a look at some of those purpose-built products that we have for tenant reps and listing reps and owners, as well as investment sale brokers, to hop over to CommercialEdge.com, and you can just click the demo, and we'll actually let you just kind of pick a date and a time that works for you at your convenience. And some of our team will hop into a screen share just like this, but do a custom walkthrough based on exactly your needs. Thank you everyone for your time, and hope you have a great rest of your week. And Michael, thank you for helping set this up for us, and we're excited to be a partner of your board and look forward to working alongside you moving forward.
Thanks, Turner. Thanks a lot.
Awesome.